and welcome here to TalkFCB on what has been an absolutely crazy night for Barça. Xavi has announced today that he will leave the club at the end of the season. He himself has made the decision to step down as the Barcelona coach, and this comes after a very bad defeat at home tonight against Villarreal, conceding 5 goals in the process. But right here today, we're going to be talking about that decision from Xavi, about all of the emotions that we have now ahead of his departure. Is it the right decision from him? What exactly are we feeling right now? And what does this mean for the end of the season and beyond at this club? There's a lot to talk about, a lot to dissect here. And let's start with Xavi's words. Because immediately after tonight's game against Villarreal, that damaging defeat, and it was a really horrible way to lose, really appalling defensive performance from Barça, straight after the game, there was a big meeting between Joan Laporta, between the sports management and Xavi. And I do wonder what was said in that meeting, because what we heard immediately after the game was that after the meeting, it was decided Xavi won't be sacked. Laporta did not want to sack Xavi, and one of the main reasons was there's no real replacement right now, so no hasty decisions were going to be made. But was it already said in that meeting that Xavi was going to resign, that he would leave at the end of the season? We don't know. But what I want to stress before we even talk about what Xavi said, the way he's done this is commendable. I think Xavi here deserves a lot of respect. Of course he deserves huge respect anyway. He's a Barca legend, but the way that he's conducted himself here, by himself announcing his departure, by himself deciding that it's the time to go, that is absolutely incredible. I have seen right here, we've all seen on the channel, times when people like Ernesto Valverde, people like Ronald Koeman, they clung on to their jobs until the final second. They would not walk away. They waited until the very final second when they were pushed by the club. But Xavi here, with all of the pressure on him, with the way things are going right now, he has come out and said, you know what, it's not working, and I am going to put the club before everything else. And that is why, no matter what, he deserves huge respect. What he's done here tonight is outstanding. Because Xavi said, as a culé, the best thing is to leave the club after June, at the end of the season. He said, I think it will help the dynamic change, and I still think that we can have a good season, but I have to think about the club. Before myself, I've made this decision. So Xavi already there openly saying, I have to think about the club. And if I do this now, maybe we can still have a good season. Maybe this will help in some way. This decision coming out now to say, okay, I'm leaving, will that actually help us in the final stage of the season here? He said, I don't want to be a problem for the club. He never has. He's always said, I don't want to be a problem. I will leave before I am. And he said, that's why the best thing is to leave after June. I was the solution 2 years ago when I arrived, but now leaving is the right option. We have reached a point of no return. And I've got to admit, guys, that's the way that it's felt, hasn't it? You know, over the past few weeks, with the tension that's been building, with the pressure on the team, it has felt as though, how does this change? How does Xavi get out of this? How does the dynamic change? And it looked like it wouldn't. But maybe now, with this decision that's been made, with the way that Xavi has announced what's going to happen, suddenly now, that dynamic could definitely change within the club. Because Xavi said, everything is going to be calmer now. We can maybe compete for the Champions League, at least with the decision that I've made and announced. You, the press, won't kill me anymore. The club will improve with this decision, and the players will finally be free. So Xavi here, he's trying to take the pressure off the club, trying to take the pressure off the players by announcing this decision here, by alleviating all that pressure coming from the media, of course. He hopes here that it can help turn the situation around. But I thought it was interesting there that Xavi was asked, but if you win the Champions League though, if Barca were to go on somehow and win the tournament, would you then change your mind? Would you go back on this decision? But Xavi made it clear, much like Klopp did recently at Liverpool, he said, no, I will not change my mind. That will not happen. I will take a break after this season. Me and my family have suffered much in these couple of years, and I want to be with them. So Xavi is very firm. He's made the decision to leave. He will step down, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will make him deviate from that plan. can. And he said the reason is the team dynamic is so negative right now. It's a really bad feeling. He said, I cannot find the reasons for today's loss. He said it was a very, very cruel game. And he said, that's what I told Laporta. He said he was very emotional. And Xavi actually there spoke openly about Laporta. He said, I want to thank him. I want to thank Juan for his confidence in me. He is the best. So Xavi, I feel here, really did feel that support, really did feel that warmth and encouragement from Laporta right up until the very end. Because in fairness, Laporta has always backed him right up until the last moments here. Like I say, he didn't want to sack him. He was not going to sack Xavi. And I think there, certainly, Xavi is grateful for that. And then he went on, I feel, to talk directly to the media. Because he said, you've actually asked me many times if I'd be the Sir Alex Ferguson of Barcelona. But he said, the truth is, it'll never happen here. You guys will not allow it. The way that you criticise, it affects you. There will never be a Sir Alex Ferguson at Barcelona. And I completely agree with that here. The conditions of a Barcelona coach, they're like nothing else. Because I actually spoke earlier today over on Twitter about Pep Guardiola. He is going to stay right now more than 10 years plus at Man City. Compared to at Barca, he lasted 4 seasons. That is the intensity of this job. Those are the demands. Those are the pressures that you have to face every single day of your life here. And it's difficult for any coach, for any manager, even ones at the very, very top level. And that is why I'm just thinking here with Xavi, it's such a shame that it didn't work out. But can you maybe see why? Is it in the end down to that inexperience? We know that Xavi took on this job. The way that he arrived at this club and was able to turn things around was extraordinary. But have we just now reached a point at this club whereby we need somebody who's proven, with know-how, at the absolute top level there of coaching, that maybe Xavi just hasn't quite got yet? You know, he's early on in his coaching career. The Barcelona job, it's massive, more than you could ever know. And I just think Xavi maybe, even though he knows the club, he didn't quite know what it was like to be the coach, to be the one who has all the responsibility. Everything stops at you. And I think it was early on in his coaching career. It was a gamble from Barca, and it was a gamble that paid off until this season. It's only now really started to fall away and really collapse around us. But I think Xavi deserves credit for coming in the way the club was and the way the club is. By no means is it all his fault. By no means here will everything now change just because Xavi leaves at the end of the season. It's not like that at all. Barca have structural problems. Barca have a cultural problem at the club, you know, in the way that things happen here. And I think Xavi's basically saying now, I just need to get out. The time has come basically to say, okay, it's not working out. And like I say, I'm so grateful for him for making this decision. He's an icon here. He's a legend. He has an enormous legacy at Barca within football. He is such an incredible figure in our club's history, and he's protected that now. He came to this club at a difficult moment, in a difficult time, in very tricky circumstances. And what a job he did. He did an absolutely commendable job right up until the last moment here. And I hope now that we can go and have a great season. Because what a moment it would be here just to take the pressure off the team, understand what the decision is going to be, all the speculation, all the rumours, all the criticism, it can all go away now. We know that Xavi's leaving. We know that we're going to take a different path. So what we can actually do now as fans, I feel, and at the club, just enjoy these final months. Let's go now and have a really good go at it. Let's alleviate all this pressure, all the negativity, the dynamic inside of the club. Let's change it all and let's attack these final months. Because what would be amazing is to give Xavi, to give this man right here, a great send-off at this club, to make sure that we say thank you for your efforts, thank you for your commitment, thank you for your care at this club, and we will give you an absolutely brilliant send-off for the rest of the season, because he deserves that here for the way that he has conducted himself. And I think it absolutely speaks volumes there that Xavi will not ask to be paid off. He will not take a single euro from the club there in compensation for leaving before the end of his term. He will walk away. He will effectively tear up that contract, and he will not ask for a single cent. And that is so much down to him, the person that he is, how much he cares about the club, and that is where this decision has come from. And like I say, guys, there's going to be so much to discuss here. I'm really interested to see how this does affect the team now. What kind of performance differences, what kind of mentality we see now in these final games. Will it give these players some life? Will it actually release something from within them there that maybe have been shackling them over these past few weeks and months? We're going to have to wait and see. We can't expect miracles. We're not going to turn into a different team overnight. But I think this decision here, this announcement from Xavi, it was important, and it can be significant in our season because things were starting to spiral out of control as we saw against Villarreal tonight. But what do you make of it all, guys? I'm just talking here. I'm just rambling. I've not had time to prepare anything, obviously. I'm just talking off the back here of what we've heard, what we're seeing right now with Xavi's announcement. But I want to know your thoughts. It has been a hectic night. It has been a really big day at Barça. And what happens next? What will happen now for the remainder of the season? In your opinion, what will we see from the players? What will we see from Xavi? And how would you summarise his time at the club, his time here as the coach of Barça? Let me know all that down below. I will be back soon. We're going to be talking more. We're going to be looking lots more into what we can expect. But thank you indeed for tuning in to all the videos tonight, both here, more TalkFCB, the match review earlier on. That already feels like a lifetime ago. But thank you as always, guys, for your great support. I will catch all of you soon. Take a deep breath now, and let's enjoy the rest of this journey. But until next time, as always, Visca, El Barça.